One of my favorite quotes of all time is from Seneca, all right? And it says, "I judge you unfortunate because you have never lived through misfortune." And I want you to really think about what that means, all right? We live in a time, in an era, in an age where everybody is complaining nonstop about how hard they have it. And when they look at someone who's built something, who's become something, who's created something, they automatically think that this person had an easy path. But I can tell you, from my experience, which is right along line with this quote, that is not true, okay? How can someone become something? How can they create something? How can they build anything if they never learn any skills? And how do we learn skills? We learn skills by going through the hard times. We learn skills by going through the times that test us, the times that make us want to quit, the times where we lose. Everybody thinks that success is all about winning, but the truth of the matter is, guys, is that the majority of the ultra successful people on this planet have a very, very, very difficult and hard backstory. The reason that is because that's how they develop the things that they need to be successful. They develop the skill sets of perseverance, of fortitude, of grit, of all of these things that we need to push through. If you've never gone through a hard time, then how can you learn how to push through hard times? Okay, so we have to realign how we look at difficult times. We have to stop looking at difficult times like it's some sort of punishment. We have to stop looking at difficult times like it's some sort of curse, or we have it harder than everybody. And we have to stop glorifying these hard times as a poor little me that has all these hard things happening to him. Motherfucker, every single person that you have ever looked up to has gone through many times where they felt like they were at the end. And we have to start appreciating these times for what they actually are. These are not times where the journey ends. These are not times where we get beat into submission. These are not times where champions decide to quit. And you are a champion. You may not be yet, but if you're listening to this, I know that you have the desire to be. Okay? We have to start looking at these times as the times that forge us, that build us, that create us, that give us the valuable skills that we need to build what it is we're trying to build, to become what it is we're trying to become, and to create what it is we are trying to create. And that is a very difficult thing, because when we look around at the world right now, everybody seems to believe that all of these hard things that happen to them called life, it's called life. It happens to everyone. Everybody thinks that they are unique in their hardships. And while your hardships may be different than that guy's hardships or my hardships, these hardships that come along in ebbs and flows, in waves over the course of our life, are the things that help us learn how to succeed if we don't quit. Okay? So look, this is a very simple message. If you are going through a hard time, if you are someone who's struggling right now, if you are going through one of these dark phases, you have to learn how to leverage it to your benefit. What are you trying to become? What are you trying to build? What are you trying to create? And how can this thing that's happening to you become something that's happening for you? What skills can it provide? What lessons can it teach you that are going to help you create what it is you're trying to create? All right? Stop looking at these times as I'm cursed, or I just have bad luck, or it's not fucking fair. Guess what? It's not fair. No one ever said it's going to be fair. It's never been fucking fair. It's never been fair in the history of humankind. All we can do is take what the world gives us and turn it into something productive. So when you're going through one of these times, You have to stop and ask yourself, what can I gain? What can I learn? What skill set can I get from this? What is this trying to show me? And how is this going to be applied to my future? Okay? The victimhood culture that exists in society is the worst, most toxic bullshit culture that has ever existed in the world. And by the way, it's intentional. It's intentional. It's put into our culture so that we can look at all of these hard things that happen to us, all of these things that are unfortunate and unfair. And we can say, oh, I can't make it because of that. I can't do it because of that. And then what happens to you? You become a poor little me. You accept what life gives you. You never become what it is you're supposed to become. And because you never become what it is you're supposed to become, none of the people around you see that it's possible to change your existence. And it is. That is your role. That is your obligation. It is absolutely your duty to become what it is you were meant to become that version of you that lives deep inside your heart, that only you know about, that you are too afraid to even tell people about because you think you're going to get laughed at. That version of you is who you were born to be. And if you do not become that, and you do not make that materialize into reality, everybody around you suffers. It's not just you. It's not just your family. It's fucking everybody. Because right now in our culture, in our society, we have a shortage of success stories. We have a shortage of people who are pursuing success. And because we have a shortage of people who are pursuing success, we have a shortage of people who believe that success is possible for them. So stop looking at these times as the times that are going to destroy you, and start looking at these times as the times that are going to forge you. This is what it is about. The most successful people on the planet have learned to leverage the negative things that happen in their life, that happen in your life, and that happen in my life to productive action. They understand what they're supposed to gain from it. They have something happen, they assess themselves, and they say, how does that serve me? What did I learn? What should I do next time? How should I handle this the next time something like this comes around? How should I behave right now? Because everybody's watching me go through this hard time. These are things that successful people understand that regular people don't. Regular people will always look at the hard things that happen to them, and they will blame them for their lack of results. Successful people will look at the hard things that happen to them, and they will give them credit for the reason that they are successful. That is your job. That is your duty. That is your obligation. And it's not just about you. So this week, go out. And when this hard stuff happens to you, stop before you react and say, how does this serve me? What am I learning? How is this going to help me become, create, build what it is I'm trying to do? And if you can start to do that, you will become one of these people that looks and appears to everybody else like you've got it all figured out. It's not that people have it all figured out. It's that people understand how to properly respond to the negative issues that happen in our lives.